If you smoke cigarettes as of today, you now have to pay a lot more for your habit. As of today, the new $2 a pack tobacco tax increase is in effect. The $2 per pack cigarette tax includes an equivalent increase on products containing nicotine derived from tobacco, and for the first time, taxes the nicotine in e-cigarettes, which are increasing in usage among teenagers here in the state of California. On the KOGO Newsline with us is Jim Knox. He's Vice President of the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network. And welcome, Jim, to KOGO. Really appreciate you sharing this subject with us, because a lot of people are wondering about it, and we welcome you to KOGO.
Thank you.
So what do you hope happens now with this $2 a pack increase for cigarettes and the overall tax here? What are you hoping happens?
Well, we hope and expect that the smoking rate in California is going to go down. Tobacco is a leading preventable cause of death in California. And according to the U.S. Surgeon General and the World Health Organization, raising the price is the single most effective way to reduce smoking. So, we believe that in the long run, this tax increase is going to save hundreds of thousands of lives and billions of dollars in healthcare costs.
Has it been proven that financial motivation works in getting people to stop using tobacco?
Absolutely. Again, it's the single most effective way to get people to quit, and most importantly, to prevent kids from starting, because if you can prevent kids from starting, they're not when they're young, they're not going to begin smoking when they're in their 20s and 30s. People don't do that. 95% of all smokers started before they were 21, and the biggest hurdle for kids in starting to smoke is usually the price.
And I know there's always been peer pressure when you're a kid. In fact, when we were talking in the newsroom this week about this tax going into effect today, somebody mentioned, and she's about 45 years old, I think. Anyway, she said when she was a kid, I remember when I asked her if she had ever smoked, and she said, no, I tried. I wanted to. When I was in junior high or high school, she said, I tried it because everybody else was doing it.
Right. Well, I think we've made great strides in denormalizing tobacco. And one of the great things about this tobacco tax increase is that some of the revenue goes into the state's programs to prevent and educate people about smoking. So it's kind of a win-win. The price increase will have an impact in deterring smokers, as will the revenue being used to fund tobacco control programs.
Now, we know that fewer and fewer people seem to be smoking. What is the percentage of smokers now in California?
In California, it's about 11%, but that's still nearly 400,000 smokers in California, and most of them would like to quit. And this price increase is going to provide an incentive for them to do so. And also, again, the revenue supports programs which help people quit. We're encouraging smokers to try to get help quitting, to use the state quit line, 1-800-NO-BUTS, or to contact the Cancer Society, cancer.org, for help in quitting.
How does the tax specifically affect the e-cigarettes then?
The e-cigarettes will be taxed as a tobacco product. So it will be taxed, e-cigarettes will be taxed an equivalent amount that regular cigarettes are taxed, as will other tobacco products such as pipe tobacco, cigars, chewing tobacco. So the price on all tobacco products is going to go up by a corresponding amount. What
have you seen, Jim, in the use of e-cigarettes around the state now? You see a lot more people doing it. What do the statistics show?
Well, right now there are more kids using e-cigarettes than tobacco, conventional combustible tobacco cigarettes, and this has really come about as a result of a real void in the regulation of e-cigarettes, which we now think is going to change now that e-cigarettes are being regulated and taxed as a tobacco product. Until now, they have not been.
Is there a misconception about the health safety of e-cigarettes?
Some of the health impacts are still are still unknown because it's such a new product. But there's increasing evidence that e-cigarettes are being used, as a gateway to traditional combustible tobacco, and clearly the e-cigarette industry is targeting young people with candy-flavored e-cigarette products. So we're very concerned that the gains that e-cigarettes are being made are going to eventually lead people to combustible tobacco.
Jim, what is the greatest challenge you face in getting young people not to begin using tobacco and getting people who have, as adults, let's say, or even as teenagers, to stop using it? We all who have ended our use of tobacco, maybe, or never started, sometimes wonder, what is the hardest thing? We all know it's hard to quit, but what's the greatest challenge?
Well, I think the greatest challenge is fighting the tobacco industry's marketing, and their predatory marketing. Again, with e-cigarettes, they are clearly targeting youth, making it, look appealing, these candy-flavored cigarettes. I think other tobacco products that have flavorings are also very attractive, and the industry is pouring a lot of money into trying to make these products appeal, cool and trendy.
Well, Jim, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us because with this tax going into effect today, obviously anybody who continues to use tobacco or smoke cigarettes, certainly they're going to be paying a lot more money out of their pocket now, aren't they?
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot more incentive to quit now, and that's what every state has shown. And that's what's going to be the real benefit of the tobacco tax increase.
Jim Knox, Vice President of the American Cancer Society, California Cancer Society Action Network. Really appreciate you joining us here on News Radio 600 KOGO. Thanks, Jim.
Thank you so much.